let's get it, let's go. The 2026 season of Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals presented by Air Experts Heating and Cooling is officially here. The journey begins at Wake Forest High School just north of Raleigh as the Wake Forest Cougars host the Southern Durham Spartans. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Friday Night Rivals on a Thursday alongside Jay Sunhalter. My name is Sam Hyman. We've got two conference champions from a season ago with state championship aspirations. Jay, what stands out to you with this matchup?
Well, two of the best coaches in the state, and Reggie Lucas, Darius Robinson. These teams are disciplined. There's talent, many college commits on these teams. And Sam, both teams have goals to win the state championship. It starts tonight. They play a tough non-conference schedule. What better way to get a week one victory? And this is going to be a huge test for both teams.
Let's dive into our stars to watch. First, for the visiting Southern Durham Spartans on the offensive side of the ball, who do we got?
Well, two great players, two Duke football commits. The Blue Devils are getting an outstanding quarterback in Jonathan Dillon. He can do it all inside the pocket and outside the pocket. He's a guy that can take you deep or he'll hurt you with his legs. And then Lance Henderson, two-way player, wide receiver, running back, and in the defensive backfield. He's athletic. Coach Robbins tries to get him the ball in space on the defensive end. You've got to watch out for him breaking on passes. Over for Wake Forest, running the football, Micah Olu, committed to Eastern Michigan. He is a powerful back. He is a house to bring down. He's got the speed out on the edges to take it far and take it the distance, but inside the tackles, he really is a bruiser. And then Josiah Sturdivant, defensive end, outside linebacker coming off the edge. He can get in the backfield. He can stop the run. He's committed to Rutgers, and he's really blown up on the recruiting scene with his athleticism and his football toughness. He's a player to watch tonight.
All right, our keys to the game. I'm giving you the keys. What are they?
Southern Durham, limit the penalties, play discipline, and don't give up cheap yards to your opponent, and then stopping the runs. It'll be so important to be physical in that front seven. For Wake Forest, tackling, be sound, fundamentally sound, bringing down the ball carrier, the wide receivers. Don't give up any big plays. And then on the big plays, especially over the top, don't have your secondary. Keep everything in front, keep your secondary in their position to make the surefire play.
All right, you mentioned Jonathan Dillon, the star quarterback for the Southern Durham Spartans. Let's learn a little bit more about Jonathan with Madison Little.
Thanks, guys. You mentioned Jonathan Dillon, and his head coach, Darius Robinson, called him a thank you God athlete, the type of God you hear about. But when you watch him play, you simply thank God that he is part of your program, and that is exactly why he is under center. John is committed to Duke as a wide receiver, but for now, he is the starting quarterback for the Spartans. His first start in that role came last season against Wake Forest. A little bit of a chess move by Southern, hoping to catch Reggie Lucas and the Cougars off guard with one goal: put the ball in the hands of the best player. But after watching what he could do with the football that night, there was no going back, and the rest, Coach Robinson says, is history, and John Dillon will lead this offense yet again. All the action kicks off when we come back right here on Friday Night Rivals.
Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals, Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals, presented by Air Experts Heating and Cooling and Plumbing. With Jay Sunhalter, I'm Sam Hyman. Down on the field is Madison Little. Wake Forest and Southern Durham to unpack the 2026 high school football season here in the 919. Reggie Lucas, he got to this high school back in 2005, Jay. He has done nothing but win, and right now he's really trying to bring this team back to state championship aspirations.
What an amazing job he's done here with the Wake Forest program. We're here in the press box. You see all the pictures of previous state championship teams, NFL players he's developed here at Wake Forest, and I know he's ready to start off the season in this matchup against Southern Durham.
Reggie Lucas said that the key word for this team right now is potential, not talent, potential. They've got a ton to look forward to here in the 2026 season. Wake Forest is in the blue uniform, set to receive the opening kickoff against the Southern Durham Spartans, and there is Michael Olu, who has been unbelievable in his high school career, the Eastern Michigan commit. What does he have in store on this opening kickoff to get the 2026 Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals high school football season underway, presented by Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing? And away we go here at Wake Forest High School. The Cougars with the football and an early start at midfield for Wake Forest. Jaden Debnam, who is a wide receiver for this Wake Forest squad, with a solid pickup.
This ball kicked like a line drive. Good job securing the ball, then getting positive yards to set up for Landon Perry in this offense. Really good field position.
Landon Perry last year was absolutely phenomenal. The sophomore this season. He was a freshman last year, Jay. The only freshman starting quarterback that Reggie Lucas has had. That is unbelievable. First and 10 from the Wake Forest 47-yard line, and it's Jaden Hartsfield who gets the opening carry, the senior in his first year at Wake Forest. And now, Jay, the offense starting lineup for Wake Forest.
Well, Perry, Olu, Hartsfield, McCoy, Singleton, and Olsen, the skill players, very athletic. Then up front, Woodruff, Black, Merritt, Rushing, and Worthy. This is a group of offensive linemen that's really molded well together here in preseason camp, looking for a big year.
On the second down snap, it's Jaden Hartsfield once again with a gain of a couple. Third down coming up. Southern Durham's defense, led by defensive coordinator Clinton Magwell. He's got this group playing really well.
Well, four up front: Johnson, Lyons, Hardy, Johnson. They'll get after the quarterback. The linebackers, Lilly and Harewood, athletic. And then that secondary, Wimper, McGahee, Henderson, Goins, and Eichert. That group really reads the quarterback. They can come up and be physical, but also they're ball hawks in the secondary.
Third down and 4. Perry heaves it up near sideline, and it is caught. First down presented by University of North Carolina, and it is a crazy game. Michael Olu, the Eastern Michigan commit, with the reception.
Having success on third down is vital, and the Cougars with the fake to Hartsfield, bringing the linebackers up. One-on-one opportunity for Olu, a running back split out in the slot, showing his hands and ability to go up and grab that ball with a defender draped all over him.
Michael Olu, who has been so good on the ground, but he had 5 receiving touchdowns last season to lead the team. So he is a Swiss Army knife on offense for Reggie Lucas's team. And now in the red zone for the first time on the opening drive. Landon Perry hands it off to Jaden Hartsfield, bounces to the outside, and Jaden Hartsfield takes the football in for the touchdown. First touchdown of Jaden Hartsfield's career as a Wake Forest Cougar, the Southern Nash transfer.
This Wake Forest offense is very versatile, and Juan Cuseda, the offense coordinator, start off with Hartsfield in the slot, then motion him and Olu. Good job keeping the defense off balance, allowing Hartsfield to go off that edge for the touchdown.
Dominic Maloney tacks on the extra point, and Wake Forest takes a 7-0 lead over Southern Durham, trying to get revenge after losing to Southern Durham each of the last 2 seasons. Wow, what'd you make of the opening drive from the Cougars?
Well, the offensive line doing the work up front, really creating a gap. Olsen, the tight end, sealing off the edge, as well as Aiden Woodruff, aligned out left side to be clear for Hartsfield. But you see that 1-2 punch in the backfield with Hartsfield and Olu. That's going to give defenses problem. But the ability for Perry to throw the ball, Sam, that is huge to keep that secondary back with the threat of the big play through the air.
7-0 lead for Wake Forest, who won their conference last year, got off to a slow start, 1-4 record, but this Wake Forest team, they believe that this is going to be a big-time 2026 season. They come in ranked 5th in the 919 area preseason rankings, according to High School Overtime. And now Darius Robinson, the head coach for Southern Durham. There you see him on your screen, trying to get his guys ready to go. He took over as the head coach for Southern Durham in 2014 after a state championship in 2013. Southern Durham with the football. And an open field tackle on the far sideline. Great work by Gabriel Jones on special teams, number 13. So this Southern Durham offense is headlined by Jonathan Dillon, a.k.a. John, the Duke commit, who is going to play at Duke as a wide receiver. That's where he made his varsity debut at Southern Durham freshman year, he was a wide receiver, but he's the best athlete, so coach has him at QB.
Well, he's a great athlete, just all-around player. He can do it all. He was on the state championship basketball team as well, so has all those transferable skills, and he's going to be a great get for Manny Diaz and the Blue Devils. Him and Lance Henderson, that's quite a tandem to get coming into their program.
A whistle and our first penalty. Let's listen in. And that is the head referee, Mike Stevens. False start, so 5 yards back. And that'll take the Southern Durham Spartans inside the 20-yard line. So the ball at the 19. First down snap and nowhere to go. Damian Hayes, first year with Southern Durham, is stopped immediately. This Wake Forest Cougars defense led by Ivan Brazo, the defensive coordinator. He's been really, really strong. Offensively, though, for Southern Durham, what stands out about this unit?
Well, Dylan Hayes, Henderson, Kearney, and Bowman, along with Williams, played a lot of football together. There's chemistry with that skill group, and then Robin Sanders, George Jr., Williams, and Tharrington up front. They've got to create gaps for this running game to get going to allow the passing of Dylan.
John fires near sideline, and it is caught. Lance Henderson, the other Duke commit, he'll go there as a safety / nickel. As we take a look at the Wake Forest defense, again, Ivan Brazo is the defensive coordinator. They've got an absolute stud at linebacker and defensive end, Josiah Sturdivant, who's committed to Rutgers.
Yeah, and up front, the three, Donaldson, Balkus, Taylor, they set the edge on the defensive line. Then Crosby, McLaughlin, Barnwell, and Sturdivant, those group really get after the quarterback.
3rd down and 7 from the Southern Durham 27-yard line, and that pass is incomplete. Intended right in front of Southern Durham's running back, Damian Hayes. 4th down.
Yeah, in that backfield with Jalen Edwards, Molden, Schwalbach, Debnam, those four doing a good job in coverage, not allowing any open areas for Dylan to throw the ball.
So Michael Olu is back to receive this punt from Jonathan Dillon, who's the quarterback. He's going to Duke to be a wide receiver, and he's also the punter on this Southern Durham team that went 7-5 last year and 5-0 in conference play. Michael Olu at the 35, skips to the 40, and the Eastern Michigan commit is pushed out of bounds right at about the 45-yard line. So Wake Forest up 7-0 on a touchdown run by Jaden Hartsfield. And it's Landon Perry who set up the touchdown with a beautiful pass to Michael Olu. This is Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals, presented by Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Athletics.
Stay tuned for the Arthritis Knee Pain Center's halftime report. We'll have this week's Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athletes, interviews, highlights, and much more. Arthritis Knee Pain Center, arthritis knee pain relief without surgery or opioids. Alongside Jay Sunhalter, I'm Sam Hyman. We have Madison Little down on the sidelines. Glad you're with us. Opening weekend of Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals high school football on a Thursday, about 24 hours ahead, just because we were so excited. No, the weather played a factor as Jaden Hartsfield takes the ball up the middle, a gain of a couple. And that'll bring up 2nd down for this Wake Forest offense that has been so dynamic in years past. But this year with this group, Michael Olu, Jaden Hartsfield, the duo in the backfield, Coach Lucas thinks this could be one of the best backfields he's had at Wake Forest.
Yeah, he's had some amazing groups back there, but this group is talented and have a huge opportunity to help lead this offense.
2nd down and 5 for Wake Forest. This is Michael Olu, the Eastern Michigan commit. And a penalty flag flies in.
There is a flag on the play.
Our lead referee, Michael Stevens. With 8 minutes to go in this opening quarter. And Michael Stevens picks the flag up, did not signal, but I believe this will back them up 10 yards, so it could be a hold, perhaps.
They're bringing it back, but good job from the Southern Durham defense there, really swarming to the football. Clint Magwood, the defensive coordinator, really wants pressure in the backfield. Good penetration here on the run, and look at all those hats for the Spartans coming over to bring down Hartsfield.
I was led by Evan Harwood, a linebacker for Southern Durham. 2nd down and 15 for Wake Forest. Inside bubble screen. Back to the original line of scrimmage. The catch made by Wake Forest Jaden Hartsfield, who's getting targeted a lot and getting the football on the ground a lot. Again, this is a guy, a senior, 5'9", 205 pounds. First year at Wake Forest, the Southern Nash transfer. He had over 1,400 yards last season with Southern Nash.
And here, 3rd and 8. Olu and Hartsfield in the game, and Olu's going to be split out here wide, but this is where the Spartans defense really has to do a good job of reading the eyes of Perry. You see the strong arm that he has on that last play on their scoring drive.
3rd down and 8 for Wake Forest. Landon Perry, the sophomore quarterback, surveys with plenty of time, and now here comes Caleb Lyons chasing him down. Lyons now has company. Landon Perry somehow still on his feet, and he fires it to his tight end, Spencer Olson, who makes the catch. Well short of the sticks. And a flag comes in as well.
This was a great job by Perry extending the play. I believe this is going to be on Wake Forest. The Spartans hustling there to try to make the play.
Personal foul on the offense.
Personal foul on the offense. So to your point, yeah, that will back up Wake Forest 15 yards.
Southern has declined that penalty.
They did just decline the penalty, so smart move. A 4th down coming up as we take another look.
Yeah, here's
Landon Perry.
Yeah, here's the helmet-to-helmet hit right there. That's where the flag came in.
Jude Black, the left guard. And that hits Southern Durham on the far sideline. Ball still loose, and it's swallowed up by number 14, Demetrius Williams. With 6:21 to play in the first quarter, another flag comes in. 7-0 lead for Wake Forest. Jaden Hartsfield's rushing touchdown is all we got so far. There was a hold on Southern Durham. Darius Robinson, the head coach, looking for an explanation on that. Darius Robinson took over as head coach in 2014. Started coaching at this place in 2006. Both coaches have rich histories with their respective programs.
We talked about Coach Lucas and all the players he's developed in his program. Same thing with Darius Robinson, and cares about his players on the field and off the field, sends to college and the NFL. And both these coaches have a close relationship, and they really respect each other, and just the communities they've built here and just the support they get from all the fans and parents. And it's all a team atmosphere when you look at both programs.
Southern Durham with the football. 1st and 10 from the Southern Durham 23-yard line. Jonathan Dillon, John in the shotgun. And we'll get a couple of different running backs tonight for Southern Durham. Damian Hayes is one of them, number 5, who just got the carry. He is the Jordan High School transfer, 3 years on varsity there, but no Kamari Holloway. He is not available today for Southern Durham. That's a big factor.
ECU commit, and this is a group in the backfield with Barnes back there as well with depth. So a lot of guys for the Spartans have the ability to hit a home run running the football.
Once again, Damian Hayes takes it up the middle, but look who's right there. Thumbs down, number 10, Josiah Sturdivant, 18.5 tackles for loss last year and 8 sacks. He's a beast.
He just flies off the edge, unblocked. Got to put a body on him and just read the play. Start off on the outside, then comes inside to wrap him up and force the 3rd down.
This is a young man that has loads of potential. Coach Lucas said he doesn't remind me of anybody because he's a unicorn. He's one of one. 3rd down and 6 for Southern Durham. Flag comes in, and John is rushed out of bounds to the near sideline.
Now this is going to be on Southern Durham, a hold on Alex Barnwell. Wake Forest linebacker was trying to make the play, got held up, and force a 3rd and long. See as John is rolling out there, you see number 15 for Wake Forest trying to get free and is held there with that right shoulder being turned.
So 3rd down and 16 for Southern Durham, a team that went 7-5 last year, 5-0 in conference play, won their conference and lost in the 2nd round of the playoffs to D.H. Conley. Started 1-4. This is really the measuring stick part of both of these teams' schedules. 3rd down and 16 for Southern Durham, and John, who's got plenty of time now, steps up in the pocket. There's trouble, flips it over the middle, it's caught. Right around the 1st down yard marker, Demetrius Williams, the junior, making the reception. And that's going to be a 1st down presented by the University of North Carolina.
Now this is special from John. Goes up in the pocket, keeps his eyes up, then rolls out to the left, throws across his body, and Williams comes back to him to present an open target, makes a man miss, and that was a huge pickup on 3rd and long.
Pickup of around 16 yards. 1st down carry up the middle again. It's Damian Hayes who's going to get a ton of touches today with no Kamari Holloway, who is out for this game. The East Carolina commit. And Damian Hayes is an absolute beast. At Jordan High School, 3 years on varsity, he averaged just about 130 yards on the ground per game. 2nd down and 9. John with space up the middle. Tornadoes at the 1st down yard mark. Still on his feet. John, green grass. Down inside the 20. And a massive pickup for the Duke commit, John Dillon. 1st down presented by University of North Carolina.
And Monty Owens, the offensive coordinator, dialing up the zone read. And look at Dillon. Ability to fight through the tackle. You got to wrap him up, and John just spins, shrugs it off, and then gets to the outside. And this is what makes him a difference maker, is that speed, the football toughness, and the awareness of where the defender is. He breaks a big one for the offense.
Akshar Barnes with his 1st carry picks up a couple. That'll bring up 2nd down and 9. As you look at head coach Darius Robinson for the Southern Durham Spartans, he had a lot of great things to say about John, both through the air and on his feet. He can beat you in so many ways, the quarterback. From the 13-yard line, John sees space again. Beast mode inside the 5.
And this is a designed run for John. Lance Henderson, the fellow Duke commit, in the backfield with him, blocking on the edge. But this is just a rollout to the right in design. Looks like he's going to throw, and then he just takes off. And there's a clear gap right up the middle. And then look at the multiple players trying to bring him down. He is just so physical. It's going to take multiple guys to come over and make the plays on him.
That's a 1st down presented by University of North Carolina. 1st and goal from the 4. Up the middle, it's running back Damian Hayes. Check that, it's Lance Henderson. We knew coming in with no Kamari Holloway, Jay, that Lance Henderson, as a DB and wide receiver, he could get touches as well on the ground. 2nd and goal from the 1. Damian Hayes burrows into the end zone for a Southern Durham touchdown. 1st touchdown for Hayes as a Southern Durham Spartan.
That right side of the offensive line doing a nice job creating a gap. Terrence Williams Jr., Zayden Tharrington, and there's the nice run right off that right side, and Hayes finishing it off. And Sam, this was a huge response after Wake Forest drive to score the touchdown. That big 3rd down pickup over on their side of the field. A couple big plays from Dillon. And this game is looking to be matched up here as the Spartans are going for 2.
Maximino Durden, the regular field goal kicker, is not available today, so expect Southern Durham to roll the dice. John backs up at his own 30, fires it incomplete. And that could come back to haunt Southern Durham, but the Spartans are on the board, and so is high school football. We're back. Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals, presented by Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Welcome back to the Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals high school football. We are back, presented by Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Wake Forest leads 7-6 behind a rushing touchdown from Jaden Hartsfield, number 26 in blue. And for more on Jaden, let's welcome in Madison Little. Madison.
Well, guys, he's playing his first season as a Cougar, but he has deep Wake Forest ties. His dad lives in the area and was a standout running back when the school was called Wake Forest Rollsville. And Coach Lucas was actually on that staff early in his career, and he told me Jaden and his dad have the same toughness. So when he saw Jaden walk into that first day of workout last spring, he was ecstatic. And I talked to Jaden earlier this week. He told me when he called his dad at work to say he wanted to come and play at Wake Forest, his dad's response was, "Let's get to work." And we're seeing that work pay off, guys.
Shout out to Richie Coe, the former star running back, and now his son. Thanks for that, Madison. Now his son, Jaden, is playing for Reggie Lucas. Really cool full circle moment.
That was a great story, and just seeing that article there and following in the footsteps of your father here at Wake Forest is special for the Hartsfield family.
Ball is loose on the far sideline. Southern Durham claims that they have it, and they come up with the football. Southern Durham's Jashim Blank has it. Let's take another look at this squib kick, an inside-out squib kick. Jalen Edwards, I don't know if he touched it first, but it went well past midfield anyway, so Southern Durham makes something happen on special teams.
That was a great kick, getting that spin, the ball going sideways, and making it difficult for the Cougars to gain possession.
That was Jace Harris who kicked the football in a perfect spot and threw off Wake Forest. Southern Durham football from the Wake Forest 38-yard line, and here goes Damian Hayes. Flag comes in. Hayes across the 10. And this could be coming back.
It's going to be a hold on the edge from the Spartans.
There is a flag on the play.
Southern Durham, who just got the football on special teams. The unconventional onside kick, if you will, that went past midfield. Remember, if you're just joining us, Southern Durham is without their top kicker, Maximino Durden, so they're going to try some different things on kickoffs as we take another look right there.
Yeah, Jaden Debnam, the defender for Wake Forest, was trying to get leverage there and just got pulled and tugged towards the inside. Good call from the officials.
So first down and 13 for Southern Durham. John, the quarterback, Duke commit, on play action, heaves it up towards the far sideline and too far for Jaden Bowman. The two-way star player. He's also a defensive back with multiple offers.
Well, they were going for it all there. One-on-one opportunity on the outside. That ball a little too deep, but you can see the arm strength of John there. Just easy flick of the wrist. He's got a strong arm. This defense for Wake Forest trying to stop the run, but they also have to be aware of that passing game.
You've got Lance Henderson, Jaden Bowman, two of the top wide receivers for Southern Durham. John fires it, a screen pass, caught, and back to the original line of scrimmage on that second down completion to number 14, Demetrius Williams.
Brought down by number 7, Drew Schwab.
Second reception.
Ball spotted at the 39-yard line. Third down.
It'll be third down and about 10 coming up for Southern Durham. There's a Wake Forest player down. Jalen Edwards, the junior defensive back. This is a young cornerback room for Reggie Lucas's team. Jalen Edwards played on JV last year. Taj Malden, the other cornerback, also played on JV last year. So some youth in the secondary, and hopefully Edwards is okay. Good to see him up walking.
Number 1, Jalen Edwards. Y'all give it up for him.
So with 1:15 to go in the opening quarter, a 3rd down and 10 coming up. Edwards makes his way off the field. This is a young man that has a ton of potential. Coach Lucas said that he's not very big if you look at him at first, but if he was 6'1", 6'2", he would have FBS offers with his technique and physicality, so that could be a huge loss. Hopefully he is okay.
For Ivan Brazo, the defensive coordinator here, 3rd and long. He wants to get a pass rush here. Josiah Sturdivant, number 10, on the edge.
John on 3rd down, going for it all. Intended for Lance Henderson. One Duke commit throws to another, but the connection did not work. And that'll bring up 4th down for Southern Durham with 46 seconds and change here in the opening quarter.
Drew Schwalbach and Jaden Dedham in coverage in the backfield, stride for stride with Henderson. And the Spartans here, the 39-yard line, they're going to go for it.
We will likely not see a field goal attempt from Southern Durham today with no Maximino Durden. Mason Wilkerson is just in there for the point after opportunity. So 4th down and 10. John throws incomplete. Looking for Demetrius Williams. Josiah Sturdivant in coverage. And how about Wake Forest defense? Forcing the 4-down shutout. Well done.
And that defense, the front seven getting pressure, forcing Dillon out of the pocket and flushed him towards the left. Good job there, recovering, giving their offense pretty good field position with the ball at the 39.
Such a big matchup early in the season. Week 1, Southern Durham and Wake Forest, 2 teams ranked inside the top 7 in the 919 area preseason rankings, according to High School OT. On 1st down for Wake Forest, a pickup of about 5 yards from Jaden Hartsfield, the senior, 1st year at Wake Forest, as we mentioned earlier, coming over from Southern Nash. But to put it into perspective, we'll talk about it a lot. This is such a big game for both of these teams.
Yeah, and I just love how both coaches really challenged their team in the non-conference schedule. Each team predicted to win their conference, but non-conference, they want to really test themselves against some of the best teams in the state. And it starts here tonight.
Final seconds here of the opening quarter from beautiful Wake Forest High School. We'll have a 2nd down and 4 coming up for Wake Forest from their own 46-yard line. Jaden Hartsfield, his first touchdown as a Wake Forest Cougar. And we're off and running. The 2nd quarter is straight ahead. Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals presented by Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Back here at Wake Forest High School, the Cougars fear the forest. Look at the student section. School's about to start, and these fans are fired up for their Cougars. A 7-6 lead as we welcome you back. Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals presented by Air Experts Heating and Cooling and Plumbing. Play action. Landon Perry delivers sidearm pass near sideline, and it is caught by R.J. McCoy. And that is good enough for a 1st down presented by the University of North Carolina to get the 2nd quarter underway.
Well, the play action, all the linebackers come up. The pressure gets into the backfield. Perry gets it out, sidearm to McCoy. Good job with the positive play from the Wake Forest offense.
First down for Wake Forest from the Southern Durham 46-yard line. Just getting the 2nd quarter party started. These 2 teams opened up the season last year. Southern Durham got the victory 47-28. Reggie Lucas chatting with head official Mike Stevens right now. Didn't see a flag come in, though.
Sideline warning was the official message, and that's what Coach Lucas was discussing.
First down for Landon Perry and the Wake Forest Cougars. The sophomore quarterback keeps it up the middle and springs free into the secondary. First down presented by University of North Carolina. Perry, who ran for only about 25 yards per game last year. Coach Lucas challenging him to be more of a runner this year.
And this makes it so difficult for a defender. With that zone read, Michael Lou's sprinting over towards the right on the jet sweep. Perry holds it. The defense goes over that side. The wide open middle is there for Perry to take it.
Lance Henderson on the stop, the two-way star for Southern Durham. This is a first down carry up the middle. Michael Olu, the Eastern Michigan commit, brought down by Kai Johnson, number 7, in the red and white uniform. This is a guy who led Southern Durham in sacks. He's going to have to do work to slow down this two-headed monster in the backfield for Wake Forest. On play action, that pass is incomplete.
Perry's pass is incomplete.
And that was Johnson getting in the backfield, jumping up and forcing Perry to throw around his outstretched arm. This is a big 3rd and long coming up for the Southern Durham defense, and trying to push this Wake Forest offense back, not give up the field goal opportunity. Ideally here, you want your front 4 to create pressure to bring down Perry and let your back 7 fall into zone coverage.
3rd down and 8. Landon Perry, empty backfield for the sophomore quarterback. A designed run, whistles blow. And a flag comes in. False start on Wake Forest.
5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
That'll bring up 3rd down and 13 for Reggie Lucas's team. Again, this Wake Forest offense headlined by sophomore quarterback Landon Perry and the dynamic two-headed monster in the backfield, Micah Olu and Jaden Hartsfield. Coach Lucas said, I wouldn't trade my backfield for anyone in the state. He's that confident. What do you make of those two right now?
Well, they're special. You have those 2 running backs that are elite, and then you add in Landon Perry and his running ability of 2 running backs plus the quarterback. That's really 3 guys as a defender you've got to make sure you corral, and that is a difficult matchup for that front 7 of this Spartan defense.
Another flag comes in. Delay a game on Wake Forest.
Still 3rd down.
And even though it's week 1, these are some of the things you can see Reggie Lucas shaking his head. He, regardless of what week it is, he does not want to see. 3rd down and 18 coming up for Wake Forest.
And right now the Cougars setting up with 5 wide receivers, so no back in the backfield.
Perry drops back, steps up into the pocket, evades Kai Johnson and slides just shy of the first down yard marker at about the 26-25 yard line.
So this was great from Perry. This was a designed pass. He recognized with the field split, the middle was wide open, just read it, picked up positive yards, and now it's a manageable situation here with 4th and 5.
Micah Olu now sent out into the slot on the near sideline, the Eastern Michigan commit. Jaden Hartsfield on play action does not get the carry. It's Perry who fires it into traffic and incomplete. Incomplete. A heck of a play, though, by Justin Eichard, who was offered by Duke, number 26 for Southern Durham. Turnover on downs. Southern Durham football. Strong defense there by the Spartans.
Yeah, Spartans holding strong here, and this is a run-pass option. Perry throws it, trying to find Olsen, and there's Eichert there in coverage. And for the Wake Forest offense, you have the 2 penalties, knock you back. Perry has the huge run. But that defense holding up there on that critical down.
So Southern Durham takes over, and there's a look at John, number 2, and then to his left Damian Hayes in year one at Southern Durham. This is Hayes who gets the handoff, the Jordan High School transfer, and he is swallowed up in the backfield.
Number 5, at Sharp.
Headline by Xavier Taylor, Dylan Balkus
Ball spotted at the
in the
28-yard
vicinity.
line.
Second down on the way.
And Wake Forest defense right now with their secondary, Schwalbach and Debnam, playing in covers. They've also been coming up in run support to help that running defense slow down Dillon and Hayes running the football.
John already with a 50-yard run in this game. Fires it near sideline. It is caught at about the 40-yard line from Demetrius Williams. Flag comes in.
There is a flag on the play.
7-6 lead for Wake Forest here in the second quarter. It looks like this could be coming back. His first down pickup. All for naught. It was a good throw by John right there, center of your screen, number 2. Second down and 20 for the Spartans. John with a ton of time to operate, navigates out wide and has pressure from Xavier Taylor. Throws intercepted. Picked off Gavin McLaughlin, the senior who led the conference in tackles last year. He's got the football, no tackle, just a pick.
McLaughlin here just reading the eyes of Dillon, sifting back, playing in zone coverage as the pressure comes up, forcing Dillon to roll to the left. And watch big number 34 here, jumping in front to make the huge interception. And Ivan Brazo has to be so happy with the defensive discipline, being in position. Now the offense, and Landon Perry coming out in the field with great field position. There's the senior, one of the leaders for the Cougars, Gavin McLaughlin, making a huge play.
Coach Reggie Lucas told us earlier in the week, Jay, that this young man, Gavin McLaughlin, is the toughest linebacker we have on this team, period.
He can do it all. Run support, there with the interception. Very versatile linebacker, college prospect.
Look at Landon Perry. Shake, rattle, and roll down for a couple. We've seen Perry on some design keepers. Again, this is just a sophomore, which is crazy. Started as a freshman last year. The only freshman for Wake Forest to start regularly on varsity last year for Reggie Lucas's team.
And I think that experience last year, then in the offseason, he's really grown so much as Zachary Hughes comes in the ball game as Perry over on the sideline.
Looks like his helmet came off, so that's why Perry is on the sidelines for this second down carry. Jaden Hartsfield is swallowed up. And that's Justin Icard, number 26, charging in, the young man who got offered by Duke. 42 tackles last year for number 26 in the red and white. Third down and 4 coming up for Wake Forest, trying to snap a 2-game losing streak to Southern Durham. Lost in 2024, 26-24, and lost in 2025 by a final score of 47-28.
And if I'm Wake Forest here, I've got 2 downs to pick up 4 yards. That's my mindset.
Play clock winding down. 3 down to 2 and 1. Wake Forest gets it off, and Jaden Hartsfield is off to the races and tripped up inside the 10. A first down pickup on 3rd and short. First down presented by the University of North Carolina.
Well, great job here as the clock is winding down. They get the play off, and then Hartsfield just shoots the gap, shows that speed. And Kobe Wimper, committed to NC Central, saves the touchdown.
The defensive back, you're right. That was a touchdown saving trip up. Micah Olu is pushed out of bounds on the near sideline. The Eastern Michigan commit, who also had offers at Charlotte, Troy, Richmond.
Second down.
And I like how both coaches are really trying to establish the run in the game. We've seen the talented quarterbacks. There's Darius Robinson They're both sides know the importance of the running game, and also especially here, the first game of the season, the hot weather, trying to wear down your opponent in the fourth quarter.
2nd and goal for Wake Forest. Juke stick, Jaden Hartsfield. Oh my goodness! Not once but twice. 2nd touchdown of the day for Jaden Hartsfield. And he runs it in for an 8-yard score.
So taking advantage of the turnover, the Cougars here giving the ball to Hartsfield and letting him go to work, making a couple guys miss. The offensive line did the job holding off the edge. And when he's in open space, Sam, he is difficult to bring down.
His dad, Richie Coe, has to be pumped right now in his debut at Wake Forest. The Southern Nash transfer who rushed for nearly 1,500 yards last year. He is here and has arrived in week 1. 14-6 lead for Wake Forest, who capitalizes off the takeaway. Gavin McLaughlin with the INT. We're back in just a moment. Riddle and Riddle, Friday Night Rivals, presented by Air Experts, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. All right, folks, stay tuned for the Arthritis Knee Pain Center's halftime report. We'll have this week's Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athletes, interviews, highlights, and more. Arthritis Knee Pain Center, arthritis knee pain relief without surgery or opioids. Welcome back to Riddle and Riddle, Friday Night Rivals, presented by Air Experts, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing with Jay Sunhalter. I'm Sam Hyman, Madison Little down on the field. So glad you're with us to open up the 2026 season for both of these teams. Southern Durham with the football, and off to the races on the far sideline, Tyler Williamson. Flag comes in late, right around midfield.
On the return brought down by number 23, Jamison Smith. There is a flag on the play.
Wake Forest just got a touchdown run from 8 yards out by Jaden Hartsfield, his 2nd of the day. Personal foul, horse collar tackle on Wake Forest. So Southern Durham should have good field position right around midfield after this penalty.
Heck of a job from Lance Henderson sealing off that left edge. And then Lathan McGahee clearing off the right side. And this ball is going to be placed at the 40-yard line, Sam, for the drive of the Spartans.
Jamison Smith with the horse collar tackle. Coach Lucas not happy right there. So Southern Durham set up in prime position to answer, a team that defeated Wake Forest last year and back in 2024 in dramatic fashion on first down. A couple of yards picked up. So several of the players on this team, for both teams, I should say, were a part of that 2024 big-time matchup. Darius Robinson was there. The final score was 26-24. Southern Durham won. And star two-way guy Lance Henderson made some epic plays, including a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. We haven't seen him a ton make an impact yet in this game, but he is a star to watch. Damian Hayes, who's got the lone touchdown for Southern Durham, bounces to the outside.
5 Hayes again on the carry, brought down by number 2, Kendrick Crosby.
Kendrick Crosby on the tackle, first year at Wake Forest. Number 2 in blue, Wake Prep transfer.
And for the Spartans here, 3rd and 4, another situation. 2 downs to pick up the 4 yards. Gonna give the ball to Dill, let him go to work.
And John is swallowed up in the backfield. Wake Forest, fear the forest. That's right, number 49, Dylan Balkus, an all-conference member last year, 39 tackles, 10 TFLs in 2025. He has arrived in week 1.
He's coming off that left side of the defensive end. Balkus getting back there, McLaughlin as well. And those two working as a tandem, and Dylan Balkus so good in run support, and there you see how quick he can get in the backfield with his pass rushing ability.
Four minutes and counting here in the second quarter from Wake Forest High School. Near block, John just got it off. And that heads out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. So Southern Durham, they had an opportunity in Wake Forest territory, did not capitalize. We'll take a quick break and come back. 14-6, Wake Forest in front behind 2 touchdowns from Jaden Hartsfield. Wow, that sunset. Is that a 10 out of 10 sunset,
That's
Jay?
perfect.
What do we got?
It's perfect.
Yeah, perfection.
No, it's hot, though, out there. It looks pretty. It looks great, but it is humid.
We are back here. Riddle and Riddle, Friday Night Rivals, presented by Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Back with Jay Sunhalter, Sam Hyman, Madison Little on hand. This is Micah Olu, the Eastern Michigan commit, breaks a tackle and bounces to the outside. Look at the stiff arm. First down and more. A gain of 20-plus yards for Micah Olu. And the first down is presented by the University of North Carolina.
You get a little bit of everything with Olu. The quickness, the vision, getting to the outside, and then the power, just rolling over defenders, keeping his balance as he hits the sideline.
Reggie Lucas, the head coach for Wake Forest, told us that Eastern Michigan is getting an absolute steal up there in Ypsilanti. Maction, watch out for him next year. On play action, Landon Perry fires it well far out of reach, but he was blasted as he let go of the football. Flag comes in.
This looks like it's going to be pass interference against Southern Durham.
That's a big call.
That'll be a 15-yard penalty.
A 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down as we look at the hand fighting right there.
And with the running ability in the backfield for Wake Forest, it allows those one-on-one matchups on the outside with the backers having to play the run. It's giving Landon Perry some opportunities in the passing game. Plenty of time here going to the halftime break with 3 timeouts for Wake Forest, 3:34 left on the clock.
First down carry, not much there for Wake Forest's Jaden Hartsfield, who's got the 2 touchdowns today for the Cougars. Tackle from Caleb Lyons, 3rd year as a starter on varsity for Southern Durham's defensive line. Kai Johnson, Caleb Lyons, Jaquez Johnson. Those 3 guys up front are going to be incredibly important the entire season to try and slow down star running backs. And they've got their hands full today with Micah Olu and Jaden Hartsfield. Back-to-back small gains from Wake Forest. But you look at that defensive line, Jay, for Southern Durham with Johnson, Lyons, Jaquez Johnson, who didn't even start playing football until he was in high school. I mean, that group right there is insane.
Yeah, they are athletic. They're a deep group, and they're the type that they play to the whistle. They are rushing every play so hard, and they can do it all, whether it's run support or getting after the quarterback. And here they call a timeout, 3rd and 6, hoping to get off the field here and give their offense time for one final drive before the halftime break.
And the other thing that's fascinating about Southern Durham's defense, and especially the defensive line, you've got Brian Yarborough, who is not only the defensive line coach, but he's the strength and conditioning coach as well. So he is making sure those guys are working in the weight room. Caleb Lyons is a freak in the weight room with a combined of bench, power clean, squat, deadlift, nearly 1,500 pounds. So that group's crazy. We'll see what they do on 3rd and 6.
Only 2 down linemen, everyone else standing up, trying to create a confusing look for the Wake Forest offensive line.
Landon Perry scurries to the right. There's pressure behind him. Perry, the sophomore, on 3rd down, and he sneaks free. First down for Landon Perry, presented by the University of North Carolina.
This was such a good job by the offensive line with this pressure holding up there as Perry climbs in the pocket. Jaden Debnam out here. They're Could have been a hold. He keeps his hands up, just shields off the defender, allowing Perry to get to the outside. A great job from Debnam there, creating an extra path, an opportunity for Perry to pick up the first down.
On first down, Jaden Hartsfield gets the carry and picks up a couple as we inch closer to inside 2.5 minutes. Well, you brought up Jaden Debnam blocking and his ability to do that. He hasn't gotten involved yet in the aerial attack, but he's at least contributing elsewhere.
Yeah, and as a Wake Forest wide receiver, Jamie Holland, the wide receiver coach, does such a good job instilling with his players, doing your job on every play, whether that's catching the ball or blocking.
That pass intended for Debnam. The Campbell commit, incomplete, and third down coming up. Jaden Debnam actually going to Campbell to be a safety, so he is a two-way guy for Reggie Lucas's squad. There's a look at head coach Reggie Lucas, who took over as head coach in 2009. Of course, those 3 straight state titles from 2016 to 2018. This could be a big year ahead for Wake Forest, sitting 5th in the 919 area preseason rankings according to High School OT. 3rd and 9, flag comes in.
False start on the offense.
5 yards back after the false start penalty from Wake Forest.
And the key for Clinton Magwood and his defensive unit here is keep everything in front of you. Don't give up the big play over the top. 3rd and 14. And making sure you know where that first down marker is. The secondary has to play with their eyes and really keep bead on where Perry's looking.
The sophomore Landon Perry zigzags ahead and dragged down Jadon Lilly, who came over from Hillside High School, makes the stop. 4th down. Timeout Southern Durham. Spartans trail 14-6.
This timeout is brought to you by some of our White Cougar sponsors.
This has been a heck of a matchup so far between these two teams and the two head coaches, of course. Darius Robinson, who took over as head coach January of 2014, but he got to Southern Durham in 2006, and he's got so many great coaches on his staff. One that I have to mention is James Ross, who is, he said, the voice of reasoning for me. That's when you have a coach like that can be the voice of reasoning. I feel like he's calm all the time.
Well, and the assistants, along with the head coach, do so much for these players, whether that's spending time in the film room, out on the field, off the field. Coach Robinson talked with us about his staff. Same thing with Reggie Lucas, going through all the guys and their roles and what they do for their players. But Coach Robinson, they're along with his assistants right there, trying to get off the field. They forced a punting situation. Reggie Lucas is going to send his special teams unit out on the field to try to pin back the Spartans.
4th and 9 from the Southern Durham 42. Dominic Maloney. And some miscommunication right around the line of scrimmage. Hartsfield got the football, and he is blown up at the original line of scrimmage. So Southern Durham, a massive stop, and they'll take over with some solid field position.
Well, they'll get this ball at the 44-yard line.
Direct snap right to Hartsfield.
Yeah, and Southern Durham was there ready to make the play. They do their job, and now you have plenty of time. One timeout for the Spartans to set up this drive with Dillon.
Southern Durham only with about 29 passing yards in this game. John's got a 50-yard run. This one just for a couple, but he scampers out of bounds. The Duke commit, senior, who will head to Duke as a wide receiver. That's the position that he made his varsity debut in back as a freshman. 2nd down and 7.
If you're Wake Forest, you're just trying to keep him in the pocket. Don't allow him to get loose on the edge. I know he picks up positive yard there. The Wake Forest defense was tracking him down, forcing him out of bounds.
John unleashes near sideline, incomplete.
pass is incomplete. Third down.
Was looking for Jordan Tisdale.
The Cougars in coverage. A big play here, 3rd and 7. Ivan Brazo, the defensive coordinator for Wake Forest, bring pressure. Right now showing 3 down linemen. Josiah Sturdivant, their top rushers, out in the slot. He's falling into coverage.
John is in trouble. Xavier Taylor nearly grabbed him. Scoots out of bounds on the far sideline, not much. And 4th down is on the horizon.
Moved out of bounds by number 15 again, Alex Barnwell.
The 3 down linemen got pressure into the backfield.
47-yard line.
Everybody else falling into their zone, doing a good job in coverage. And now with John the punter, what will they decide to do? There's going to be a timeout used with this big 4th down.
Timeout, Southern Durham.
Why do you think Southern Durham's had some trouble offensively since that first touchdown?
Well, Wake Forest is changing up the coverage right there and trying to give different looks to Dillon. And I think they're doing a nice job just not giving up the big play. And for Dillon, you know, this is a game of rhythm and making adjustments. And he'll have to look at how he can attack the different defensive look. But now 4th and 9. Figure here, Southern Durham's going to punt the ball. But again, John, the punter and quarterback. Wake Forest will have to be in a safe mode here, making sure they don't give up the trick play.
So, coming up in less than 90 seconds of game time, stay tuned for the Arthritis Knee Pain Center's halftime report. We'll have this week's Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athletes, interviews, highlights, and much more. Arthritis Knee Pain Center, arthritis knee pain relief without surgery or opioids. Again, that's coming up at the half. Week 1 of high school football. Riddle and Riddle Friday night rivals on a Thursday. Getting this party started a day earlier with some incoming weather tomorrow. Flag comes in, Josiah Sturdivant for Wake Forest, number 10 in blue. The Rutgers commit
Still 4th down.
with some happy feet. Doesn't make a lot of those mistakes. This young man can play linebacker and D-end. 4th and 4, Southern Durham still to punt. And they do blast it away. John, a sky ball that lands right around the 30-yard line.
Ball kicked out of bounds, marked at the 30 or 21-yard line.
So with 1:20 to play,
Down, Cougars.
Wake Forest takes over. Here's a look at Jonathan Dillon, AKA John. He's got a 50-yard run tonight, but not much action through the air. He threw for nearly 2,000 yards as a junior last year, 20 passing touchdowns to just 1 interception. He's going to try to recalibrate when he gets the football back, but for now, it's sophomore quarterback Landon Perry. Wake Forest on 1st down. Little tunnel screen, incomplete.
Perry's pass is incomplete.
Intended for
Second down.
number 26, Jaden Hartsfield. What are your thoughts on what you've seen so far today from Mr. Perry?
Well, he's been impressive. And as a freshman last year, he showed so much promise. And you just see the development he's had from year 1 to year 2 in the program. And Reggie Lucas told us he's going to be one of the top quarterbacks by the time he's a senior. And he changes this offense with those 2 backs in the backfield, plus Perry's running ability, as well as that throwing ability. This offense is dangerous, and they've got a lot of different options and playmakers on the outside.
It's crazy to think Landon Perry is only a sophomore. This is a delayed handoff. Micah Olu still on his feet. Negative yards right now, but he maintains balance before he's shoved down.
Still pretty impressive there.
Yeah, I was going to
He's
say.
able to stay on his feet.
I feel like the scouts at the next level or anybody watching you write that down. He stays on his feet regardless of the circumstance.
He has tremendous balance, and this defense, though, just swarming over to him, using the sideline as a defender, nowhere to go. There's Johnson finishing off the play.
I mean, Micah Olu, flashback to last year, he had a breakout game in the first round of the playoffs against North Brunswick. 6 rushing touchdowns for number 8. Looking to have a big senior year before he heads off to Eastern Michigan. 3rd down and 18 with the clock running inside 20 seconds. It's Jaden Hartsfield on the carry, who's got the 2 touchdowns today, both on the ground. The Southern Nash transfer, whose dad, Richie Coe, back in the day, started running back for Wake Forest when Coach Lucas was still coaching. And that'll take us to the end of the second quarter. 14-6, Wake Forest in front. Let's send it downstairs to Madison.
Coach, a whole half of football down in this 2026 season. What do you make of this backfield for the Cougars so far?
Oh, duo. They dynamic back there. Both Mike and Jaden are very good, and we're seeing that tonight.
And some penalties on both sides of the ball. How do you kind of tighten that up in the second?
We learn from the first half and be more disciplined in the second half.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so discipline for Reggie Lucas is the key heading into the second half. Landon Perry got the party started with a big pass to Micah Olu, but Jaden Hartsfield, the 2 rushing touchdowns. Headline, Wake Forest with a 14-6 advantage over Southern Durham here at Wake Forest High School. Riddle and Riddle, Friday Night Rivals, presented by Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Stay tuned for the halftime report straight ahead.
You're watching the Friday Night Rivals Halftime Report.
And now it's time for the Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week. Presenting the award for Tatum and Atkinson is Season Atkinson.
Tatum and Atkinson is proud to present the Friday Night Rivals Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week. From Southern Durham High School, the Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week is Tyler McLean. Tyler is a J.D. Clement early college student, studies aerospace and biomedical engineering, and carries a 4.46 GPA. Tyler is a member of National Honor Society and volunteers as a mentor for Oak Grove Athletic Association's youth football program. From Wake Forest High School, the Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week is Gavin McLawhorn. Gavin is football all-conference, is a member of National Honor Society and National Achiever Society, and carries a 4.0 GPA. Gavin is a member of Leadership Wake Forest and is a teen vice president for the Capital City chapter of Jack and Jill of America, helping to organize book drives and raise more than $10,000 for food insecurity efforts.
Congratulations to our Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athlete of the Week.
This All-Star is now entered for a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Tatum and Atkinson. Injured in a wreck? Call the heavy hitters.
And once again, congratulations to our Tatum and Atkinson Scholar Athletes of the Week. And now I am joined for the principal of the Southern School of Energy and Sustainability, Brandon Hodges. Brandon, what does that name mean?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. So we are a magnet comprehensive high school, and one of the things that we're allowed the opportunity is with that, our theme is energy and sustainability. So energy and sustainability is not just an academic concept. It is something that's woven throughout every facet of industry and career and issues that we see surrounding us. One of the things we often hear now are data centers. And that's one of the things that we'll be able to look at in some of our core curriculums to see what are the impacts. And we're not just talking about what are the impacts environmentally, but actually being able to look at grant writing processes and looking at pieces of legislation within some of our social studies courses and English courses to really see how this is woven throughout. Because again, our goal is not to provide students with a one-off, but again, making sure that this is woven throughout everything that we do. And we were honored by being named a 2026 Magnet School of Excellence for this past year. And most recently, we were selected for the inaugural cohort of the Smithsonian STEAM School of Distinction. So we're honored for that privilege and to see how this work will help propel our students for the next step ahead, to be recognized on the national level and to have this partnership so that we can prepare our students that as they go through this step, they'll be prepared even more so than their fellows.
That's awesome. Well, a high academic school and a great football team. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We will be back with more of your halftime report right after this.
You're watching the Friday Night Rivals Halftime Report.
Welcome back to our halftime report. I am joined now by the principal for Wake Forest High School, Melissa Thomas. You guys are celebrating 85 years of Wake Forest High School. How has the community responded to that?
Yeah, so it's really cool. We've looked at our history, and there was a Wake Forest like K-12 and all those things, but 85 years as a high school, and people are excited about it. We've had a lot of alumni reach out to us and wanting to be a part of it and wanting to celebrate the school and just give back. This school is so loved by the community, which is really awesome for our athletes and for our teachers and everybody. It's a great place to be.
And you talked about the academics at this school. Obviously, you have a great football team. What can you say about these student athletes?
So we do have really strong academics here. We have very high standards, and our athletes are a part of that. We've got some really strong athletes that not only are gifted out on the football field, but also in the classroom. And I couldn't be prouder of a school if I tried. It's wonderful.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We will be back with more of our halftime report right after this.
You're watching the Friday Night Rivals Halftime Report.
You're watching the Arthritis Knee Pain Center's halftime report. Arthritis knee pain relief without surgery or opioids. We are at the half, 14-6. Wake Forest at home leading Southern Durham. Back with Jay Sunhalter, I'm Sam Hyman. Let's take a look and roll the tape on the first half highlights. Landon Perry got the party started with a big completion to Micah Olu.
Yeah, big play through the air, and then the ground game started to pick up. And here Hartsfield going up the middle, then taking it to the outside, Sam, for the first touchdown of the game.
First of two. Stay tuned. Hartsfield, his first rushing touchdown for Wake Forest after coming over from Southern Nash. And then here goes John. Not one, not two, but bounces off three would-be tacklers and is off to the races for a 50-yard run, which would set up the Spartans here.
Yeah, and Damian Hayes right up the middle. And Dylan and Hayes, that backfield combo, showed huge flashes in the first half. And then Wake Forest defense and Gavin McLaughlin doing a nice job here, getting the interception and setting up their offense for a scoring drive.
Jaden Hartsfield, couple of juke moves to get some separation. Are we playing video games right now? That was a crazy double juke. 14-6, Wake Forest at the half. We'll take a quick break and come back. Second half is coming your way shortly. Riddle and Riddle, Friday Night Rivals, presented by Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Riddle and Riddle, Friday Night Rivals, presented by Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. 14-6, Wake Forest in front. Let's check in with Madison, who spoke with the Southern Durham head coach.
Well, Sam, who gathered his head coach Darius Robinson gathered his team in the end zone, and he told them, we need to set the tone. He said, you are elite level athletes. You are not playing to your potential. We cannot start this second half slow like we did in the first. I asked him who needed to get involved on offense to see success, and he told me Lance Henderson and John Dillon really need to get things going for the Spartans.
How do you think, as the opening kickoff in the second half to get us underway for the second session, how do you think Southern Durham can get Lance Henderson involved more as they get ready to start with the football here?
Return for Southern Durham.
Southern Durham with the football. Good to see number 18, Tyler Williamson, back up on his feet. And we look at the stats so far. Again, Southern Durham, not much through the air. Lance Henderson's going to have to play a factor. Only 29 passing yards, and how do they get him involved more?
Well, I think with Henderson, whether it's in the backfield or out wide, get him quick touches, allow him to get into the open space area. But there in the first half, both teams doing a good job running the football. But the key there is one turnover for the Spartans, 0 for Wake Forest.
Gavin McLaughlin, the big interception, to your point, that led to a Wake Forest touchdown. First down carry for Southern Durham.
Number 5, Barnes again on the
Damian Hayes.
Yeah, and same a talking point at halftime too, I know, was the penalties. Each coach trying to talk to their team about cleaning up that area and just making adjustments from the first half to the second half, just like Reggie Lucas told Madison.
2nd down and 10 for Southern Durham from their own 26-yard line. John, the Duke commit, hands it off. Akshar Barnes stays on his feet. And a positive pickup just shy of the 35-yard line. 3rd down and short coming up. Akshar Barnes actually faced Wake Forest last year when he played for Leesville Road and rushed for about 77 yards on 11 carries, had a touchdown, so he's familiar with this Wake Forest defense.
A really good balance here, 3rd and short. I think possible zone read with John making the decision whether to run the ball or not. Another penalty, and it's going to be on the Spartans.
5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
3rd down still for Southern Durham. There's head coach Darius Robinson. Grew up in Fayetteville, North Carolina, a hotbed for football. Stayed in North Carolina Central, class of 1992. Trying to get his Spartans rolling on offense. 3rd down, John rolls out, still on his feet, and dragged down right at the sticks. Kendrick Crosby, the outside linebacker, was there along with Gavin McLaughlin.
And they're going to give him the 1st down. And John, as he's rolling out, keeps his eyes up with the threat of throwing the ball and then just turns on the jets with power to get through and pick up that 1st down.
1st down presented by the University of North Carolina. Alex Barnwell was also involved on that stop. This is his 1st year starting on varsity. Speaking of 1st year, this is 1st year Southern Durham running back Damian Hayes. He's been the bell cow today. The transfer from Jordan High School, a 3-year varsity guy. He's getting a lot of touches because Kamari Holloway is not available today, a talented running back committed to East Carolina. John on the keeper, a 2nd down and 5 carry. Stopped just short. Jalen Edwards, good to see, number 1 in blue. Still bouncing around. He got banged up earlier in this game. Played on JV last year, and again, not the biggest guy, but if he was 6'1 or 6'2, Coach Lucas said he would be crazy at FBS level.
And that was a great tackle, setting up this 3rd down.
Damian Hayes picks up the 1st down presented by the University of North Carolina.
47-yard line. 1st down.
And the offensive line for Darius Robinson getting push up front to keep the chains moving. Now 2 1st down pickups here in this drive, starting out well. And he told Madison, we want to set the tone. That message is coming through here on this drive.
Another play on the ground. John slithers through the defense and cracks free for another 1st down pickup. He's got 3 rushes for over 15 yards today, including a 50-yard run. This is good enough for another 1st down presented by the University of North Carolina as the clock ticks inside 9 minutes in the 3rd quarter.
And finding success with Barnes coming on with the fake handoff, and then Dillon getting again to that left edge. And they found something on that side of the field where he's had a lot of success.
Damian Hayes is wrapped up immediately. Josiah Sturdivant leads the charge, number 10 in blue. The Rutgers commit, who can play a mix of linebacker and defensive end.
Well, he's got power, and here just sheds the block. You just see him throw his man to the inside, comes around and makes the play.
Years ago, it was Dexter Lawrence making noise up front at the line of scrimmage on defense. Josiah Sturdivant, he can do it at the defensive end spot and linebacker spot. This is up for grabs near sideline towards the end zone. Flags come in, a whole bunch of laundry.
Pass incomplete. There is a flag on the play.
It was intended for Lance Henderson, the Duke commit. Southern Durham on offense. Pass interference on the Wake Forest Cougars. Drew Schwalbach in coverage on this pass.
They're trying to find him in one-on-one coverage. This ball towards the inside. And Lance Henderson, when he's split out at wide receiver, he is such a difficult matchup with his route running ability and his size.
Ball spotted at the 20-yard line. First down, Spartans.
14-6, Wake Forest leads Southern Durham. First game of the season for these two teams. Non-conference matchup, two defending conference champions going at it. A big measuring stick game. Damian Hayes has stepped up big tonight for Southern Durham, and he picks up another Spartan first down presented by the University of North Carolina.
The Spartans looking really inspired, Sam, on this drive. And their offensive line creating some creases as we have an injury over on the sideline. But Darius Robinson right now feeling good about how his offense is looking.
7:37 to play in the third quarter. First and goal coming up for Southern Durham, as a Wake Forest player is being attended to on the far sideline. It looks like it might be Gavin McLaughlin, number 34, who had an interception earlier today. Yes, it is indeed Gavin McLaughlin, who, according to head coach Reggie Lucas, the toughest linebacker we have. He led the conference last year in tackles with 109, also 3 sacks and 16 TFLs. Just an absolute stud. And really the only returning linebacker outside of Josiah Sturdivant, Alex Barnwell and Simon Chapman, both for the first time starting on varsity this year. Kendrick Crosby coming over from Wake Prep. So Gavin McLaughlin, a veteran on this team, as we take another look.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 34 for Wake Forest, Gavin McLaughlin. Give it up.
A great hustle from McLaughlin over on the sideline, and here he's walking off the field. That's a good sign.
Huge interception again earlier today for Gavin McLaughlin, which set up a Wake Forest touchdown. Reggie Lucas, the head coach for Wake Forest, happy with what he's seen throughout the course of Gavin's career. It's been an epic career for the senior. So it's first and goal for Southern Durham, trailing by 8. Confusion on the handoff. Damian Hayes maintains possession of the rock. Stumbled shy of the goal line.
A double A-gap blitz from the Wake Forest linebackers right up the middle, and forced Hayes to make a quick decision, jumping to the inside.
Well, we've seen a lot of run plays on this drive. We'll see if John tries something in his bag of tricks. Option. John keeps it himself, and he's dragged down from behind. Jaden Debnam
Number 2, Dylan on the keeper.
And Kendrick Crosby on the stop, the linebacker.
The backside of this defense staying in position, not over pursuing here, and forcing John back to the middle, and there's the pressure hustling over.
Third and goal from the 7 for Southern Durham.
Remember, 2-down territory here. The kicking situation for the Spartans. We expect if they don't get it here, they'll go for it on 4th down.
John dodges Josiah Sturdivant short of the goal line.
Number 2, Dylan again on the carry.
Kendrick Crosby back to work, the linebacker, first year at Wake Forest, the Wake Prep transfer.
4th down.
Here he is, number 2. So 4th down, you mentioned it, Jay. 4-down territory for the Spartans. Maximino Durden not available, the primary kicker, so they're rolling the dice on 4th down. From the 3-yard line. Gotta have it. John keeps it himself and plunges into the end zone. Southern Durham touchdown. John's first rushing touchdown of the season for the Duke commit.
The coaching staff says, let's give it to John, our best offensive player. Let him make a play. The offensive line gets the push. The back clears off the edge. And there's Barnes celebrating with Dillon, and a great job there with the whole drive, Sam, just moving the chains, extending plays, and finishing it off with the touchdown.
John and company going for two. This is a fade route. End zone incomplete. Jalen Edwards in coverage. Seatbelt locked down on Jaden Bowman, who was the intended target, the junior who had over 500 yards receiving last year. 14-12. Wake Forest in front. Opening weekend. Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals, presented by Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. We'll be back for more third quarter action.
And folks, there is a timeout on the field. We'll recognize more of our sponsors, our Platinum Cougar sponsors again. Warren Shackelford and Thomas Attorneys, AMA Landscaping, NC.
Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals is back. 2026 season underway, and it's Wake Forest with a 14-12 lead over Southern Durham. Spartans just got a touchdown though, and they got off to a great start in the preseason to get up and get ready for the 2026 campaign. For more on that preseason vibe at the very beginning, Madison, what happened in the preseason?
Well, Sam, Dexter Lawrence hosted his 7-on-7 event here at Wake Forest High School. He's a Cougar alum and current lineman for the Bengals, and Coach Lucas told me that the loyalty he has to this school and the community is unbelievable. I talked to Jaden Hartsfield, who was at the event, and he says Dexter Lawrence showed up and talked to the guys. The message was keep working and work hard, especially when things get tough.
What a great way to sort of gear up for the regular season with Dexter Lawrence during the summer putting on that 7-on-7 camp, and his headshot is on the press box wall right now as we look at Jaden Debnam taking the ball into Southern Durham territory. And Debnam is down in a little bit of pain. But yeah, what a start to Wake Forest's summer to have Dexter Lawrence involved with the program. And again, his name is here up in the press box, his headshot recognized for what he's done both here and beyond.
Both teams have NFL alumni that come back and support the school. And, you know, if you're a Wake Forest player and seeing Dexter Lawrence that was in your shoes not long ago at all, to come back, support the program, talk with the team, that's just a huge lift. And, you know, they can look at themselves and say, hey, maybe one day I can be in the NFL where Dexter is. But I just think that relationship for former players, whether they're from the NFL or not, I think it's huge. And that chemistry and that relationship from both of these coaches, Darius Robinson, Reggie Lucas, to players is what makes both programs so special.
And it's crazy to think, because again, we promised deep inside that press box there's Dexter Lawrence's name and the 17th overall pick in the 2019 NFL draft by the Giants. Now he's with the Bengals. Crazy he wasn't on those state championship teams from 2016 to 2018 here at Wake Forest, as Debnam is at least able to walk off the field, but he's limping. That's still a tough blow. This is a young man committed to Campbell, headed there to be a safety. Just hope that he is okay. So Southern Durham back to work on defense. Here's Landon Perry, the Wake Forest sophomore quarterback, hands off to Micah Olu. Runs into a brick wall of Spartans. Evan Harwood, a linebacker, coming in there, as well as number 26, Jason Eichard, who's down in some pain with 5:07 to play in the third quarter.
Southern player down.
And there's another Southern Durham and Wake Forest player down. Perhaps some cramping here in the later stages of this game. with 5:07 to play here in the third quarter. Micah Olu, a talented running back, getting some treatment. And then Justin Icard, who got offered to play at Duke. 5:07 to play, third quarter. Wake Forest in front, 14-12 here at Wake Forest High School. Are back here at Wake Forest High School and still 2 players down. Justin Icard, Southern Durham in the red and white uniform, still getting treated, and Micah Olu, the superstar running back, Eastern Michigan commit, is getting some treatment as well on his, looks like they're rubbing his right leg. But Jay, both of these guys are very important to their respective teams.
So this has been a physical ball game, plus first game of the year. It's extremely hot out, humid. And these guys have put a lot into their off-season training, and these games come out and they're competing at such a high level. And hopefully he'll be okay. Olu's still there on the turf. But good to see him getting up now.
Micah Olu,
And ladies, number 8, Micah Olu,
who had the big catch for 40-plus yards in the first quarter that set up Wake Forest's first touchdown of the game by his backfield mate, Jaden Hartsfield. And this guy has so much potential at the next level, the Eastern Michigan commit. Coach Reggie Lucas said that Micah is one of the best players and hardest workers I've ever coached, which is crazy. When you think about Reggie Lucas and this Wake Forest program, he has coached some tremendous people at this level.
One of the highest compliments you can get is being one of the best workers, and all that hard work is paying off for Micah.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Yes. You sound like a coach. Coach Sam.
When talking to several coaches, you feed off that energy. Here's some energy from Southern Durham getting into the backfield. Great job by number 33, Javon Jones-Stevens.
42-yard line, third down.
Well, and Sam, you made a great point there. We talk with these coaches. It's such a pleasure to talk to Coach Robinson and Coach Lucas and hear them talk about their kids and the program and what they're trying to do to develop them. And we get an opportunity to get the insight from these leaders, and it's just an amazing privilege that we have working with them.
Yeah, it's really nice. They've got time that they take out of their day. Here's a 3rd down and 12. Landon Perry delivers near sideline, and it is caught. That's R.J. McCoy, who scurries ahead for a first down right around the 20-yard line. First down presented by the University of North Carolina. First catch for McCoy, the junior.
Well, Landon Perry's a special quarterback already as a sophomore. He rolls up in the pocket, kind of backpedals, goes to the left, keeps his eyes upfield, and then McCoy is there on the sideline. And from the sophomore quarterback to already have that feel of the pocket, that's pretty special. And the McCoy doing a nice job picking up the first down.
Again, this is a young man, Landon Perry, started as a freshman. First freshman quarterback to start under Reggie Lucas. Flips it ahead to the tight end, Spencer Olson, number 85, who's gotten the opportunity to start with no Tyson Stanton, who tore his ACL over the summer. Coach told us, so Spencer Olson takes it about 2 yards from a first down.
Well, I love that play call from Juan Cusada. Now, I'm a former tight end, so that's a tight end screen. So, of course, I like that one, but good job shielding the defender, then releasing the offensive line, clearing a path for Olson.
2nd and 1 from the Southern Durham 23-yard line. Landon Perry heaves it up near sideline. Caught. Touchdown, Wake Forest. R.J. McCoy, a 23-yard catch.
Well, Sam, doesn't get any better than this. Look at this throw, kind of a sidearm fadeaway from Perry, and then McCoy one-on-one shields off the defender and goes up, turns his body. The athleticism, catches that one-handed, brings it in. And what a play there in the red zone from the quarterback and McCoy. Those two big connections, moving the ball down the field and then capitalizing with the touchdown.
Dominic Maloney set for the extra point. 44 of 45 on extra points last season for Maloney, and he knocks that one through. R.J. McCoy, who had 3 touchdown catches last year, he's about 6'1", and Coach Lucas said he runs excellent routes. Now, running that type of route, how difficult is a catch like that for that young man?
I mean, that's an NFL-type catch. It really is. It's a one-on-one route. You've got to win. If you don't win, it could be an interception. But if you win, it's a touchdown. And there, he had position. He sold it to the inside, came back to the outside, and that throw was perfect on that outside edge towards the pylon, allowing McCoy to shield off the defender and then turn at the last second. That execution is really midseason form, and here in week 1, there's already instant chemistry.
And the throw by that young man, Landon Perry, who daps up his coach, like, that's also a tough throw.
Well, it was a great throw. And this Wake Forest offense, you can already see it developing in week 1. The running game, that is special. And now you add in a talented quarterback in Perry and the ability to throw the ball. It's going to cause a lot of problems for defenses throughout their schedule of what you're trying to take away.
Southern Durham on the kickoff return. And a burst of speed for Tyler Williamson. He's across midfield and inside the 40. A Spartan spark, if you will. Flag comes in.
There is a flag after the
So
play.
we'll see if this is coming back. 2:48 to go in the third quarter. Southern Durham needs something. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Wake Forest.
And that's on Wake Forest, so a big-time call. That will help out the Spartans. Let's take another glance at this.
Well, this is exactly what the Spartans needed, a huge special teams play. Williamson right on that sideline makes a move and eventually comes down here. I'm not sure if we'll see what happened after the play, but that was after the whistle was blown.
Right, so something in the aftermath, but this will set up Southern Durham at the Wake Forest 25-yard line. Tyler Williamson, the senior, making a big-time play on special teams.
And for this Southern Durham offense, you need the response. Touchdown on this drive. Wake Forest just scores. You have the field position here at the 25. Mindset is, let's go back and get this touchdown.
Amani Owens, the offensive coordinator. Let's see what he draws up. And inside reverse. Not much cooking right there. Demetrius Williams on the carry. 2nd down and 11 after the loss of 1 yard.
Now the challenge for this Wake Forest defense, the game plan is do not give up the big play. Nothing over the top. Reggie Lucas talked with us about that, and they've done a good job. A couple of John's been able to break free, but for the most part, they have kept everything in front, and they've been fundamentally sound tackling.
Inside handoff, Akshar Barnes still on his feet, and Barnes bursts through the teeth of that defense, dragged down inside the 10. A flag comes in. Drew Schwalbach made the tackle. There's a
timeout on the field.
Wake Forest player down on the field right now with 2:03 to play in the third quarter. Akshar Barnes somehow came out of this still on his feet, looking like Marshawn Lynch right there. And couldn't exactly see how the player got hurt. Drew Schwalbach, meanwhile, looks like he grabbed Akshar Barnes' face mask, so that's the penalty. Or maybe he had the front collar, perhaps. Nonetheless, it was a penalty. And meanwhile, the attention now is on the Wake Forest linebacker, Alex Barnwell, his first year starting on varsity, number 15. Able to walk it off. Meanwhile, a 1st and goal from the 5 coming up for Southern Durham. John, Akshar Barnes, and Damian Hayes. That threesome on your screen making their way. Something tells me one of those 3 guys might have the ball headed towards the end zone here. We'll have to wait and see. And a nice tackle from behind. Gavin McLawhorn drags Akshar Barnes down, but another flag. And this looks like a personal foul, face mask on Wake Forest. Half the distance.
And that right side of the defense getting the penetration. Let's see if we can see the face mask. It's maybe there on the backside. Couldn't quite see it. But nonetheless, I think this is where you give the ball to John and let him go to work. Zone read, a jet sweep, have him get outside on the edge.
John trying to get outside, now cuts back inside and wedges his way up and in for a Spartans touchdown. John had 7 rushing touchdowns last year, and he's got one right now to put the Spartans within 3.
A perfect play call, giving the ball to John and letting him make the decision whether to hand the ball off or keep it. And he made the right decision going off that left side.
There's a Wake Forest player down. Let's look at the touchdown run. John juked out Josiah Sturdivant there at the beginning.
A little hesitation, and then came back towards the inside.
This is Will Donaldson, the nose tackle, who was a late addition to the starting lineup for Wake Forest. Hopefully he's okay. Wake Forest, actually, they made the late switch, moving Josiah Sturdivant from defensive end to outside linebacker. Sturdivant can play both positions, but here, number 68, Will Donaldson, got the opportunity to start at nose tackle. Southern Durham is going for 2. Once again, they're 0 for 2 on 2-point conversion attempts. Remember, we mentioned earlier, Mason Wilkerson is the primary kicker because Maximino Durden is out competing in Spain for soccer purposes internationally. So not a lot of field goal attempts, not a lot of extra points are being taken. 2-point conversion try. Akshar Barnes does not get there. 0 for 3 on 2-point conversion attempts for the Spartans, and at the moment, that is the difference in this game.
Defense holding strong on those critical 2-point conversions, doing enough to keep the Spartans out of the end zone.
1:19 to play in the 3rd quarter. Wake Forest and Southern Durham going at it. 2nd consecutive year these teams are facing off against each other to open up the season. Southern Durham won last year 47-28. Both of these teams really got off to slow starts last year, both 1-4 starts, and then they won their conference, and both of them lost in the 2nd round in the playoffs. But this part of the schedule, how significant is it for these two teams?
Well, it's huge. And going back to last year, though, reeling off all those wins in the 2nd part of the schedule and then the development of each team has led to high expectations for this year and state championship goals for both sides. And this game is important because we talked earlier in the broadcast, I would expect both teams to win their conference again. Predicted to be the winners, and it's important to challenge yourself out of conference, especially week 1. I'm a believer in playing against the best. That's how you improve. That's how you gauge yourself. That's how you really see where you're at. And when you have an opponent like these two are going against, it gives you something to look forward to in the offseason, to prepare for and practice. When things are tough and there isn't a game in sight, you know you have to be ready for week 1.
Southern Durham has Jordan coming up next week, Cardinal Gibbons. I mean, it does not get any easier. And Wake Forest has Leesville Road, Millbrook, Wakefield. So you're right, these two teams are getting tested early and often in the season. Wake Forest with the football, leading 21-18 with 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Opening weekend of Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals, presented by Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. We're playing on a Thursday with some anticipated weather tomorrow. First down carry, not much from Jaden Hartsfield, who's got a couple of touchdowns today.
And both coaches were so great working with us, the TV team we have, to change this game. And a special thanks to everybody, because tomorrow looks like it's going to be bad weather. So it's great to get this game here tonight and make sure we played it with good weather.
Less than a minute to play in the third quarter. Wake Forest with the football. Landon Perry, the sophomore quarterback, hands it off. And excellent defense. Justin Eichard coming down from the secondary, number 26 in the red and white, to stomp down on Jaden Hartsfield.
Well, Eichard bandaged up from that arm when he was out with injury, coming back in here, showing toughness, and came up to make the play. Kai Johnson set the edge. That defense really doing a nice job getting penetration. This looks like another cramp.
Timeout on the field, 9 seconds just about remaining in the third quarter. A 3rd down and 7 coming up for the Wake Forest Cougars. And head coach Reggie Lucas, his offensive coordinator Juan Casada, 3rd year in this role. Done a solid job. He's got a whole bunch of weapons at his disposal. One of them is Jaden Hartsfield, who is down. Hopefully he is all right, but there are so many weapons on this offense, and the future is bright for this team this year, 2026. After not going deep into the playoffs the last couple of years, Reggie Lucas, he said the word for this team is potential. There's talent on both sides, but it's really how can you maximize your potential.
Well, in these teams, as all teams, will get better week by week, but just the faith I have with these coaching staffs and how they develop the teams, I mean, you can already see the talent jump out to you. And as these teams continue to get better week by week, I think once you get to the playoffs, both teams have a chance to have special long runs, November and into December.
Final seconds here in the third quarter. And we got a ball game. 3 points separate Wake Forest and Southern Durham in our Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals opener, presented by Air Experts Heating and Cooling and Plumbing. And RJ McCoy, a touchdown reception a moment ago, but John, the counter punch. Spartans within 3. We'll be back. Fourth quarter is next. Start of the fourth quarter, the Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals, presented by Air Experts Heating, Cooling, Plumbing. Back with Jay Sunhalter, I'm Sam Hyman. Madison Little down on the sidelines. Opening weekend here in the 919. Southern Durham on defense, trying to make a stop on 3rd and 7. Look out, here comes Caleb Lyons. Landon Perry unleashes it out of bounds, and Southern Durham stands up on defense. Wow, that was impressive.
Yeah, they did a great job there with their formation, getting pressure on Perry. You'll see as a sophomore, it's a little fake. There's nowhere to go. Look at all the multiple defenders there. Then arm reach of Perry. He does a smart job there, just throwing it out of bounds. You can see the Southern Durham sideline there. Everybody jumping around, excited from their defense.
Clinton Magwood, the defensive coordinator for Southern Durham. It looked like in warm-ups he was ready to play. He had his headphones on.
Ready to go.
Just locked in and had that group dialed on that sequence. So at the start of the fourth quarter, Southern Durham forces a punt. And Demetrius Williams retrieves that.
Great punt.
Inside the 20. And that's number 24, Dominic Maloney.
Hang time plus the roll. It flips the field position. Nice work from the special teams unit.
Spotted at the 18-yard line. And so here comes Southern Durham on offense. The big hiccup for them has been the two-point conversion opportunities. 0 for 3. They're right in this game. Trying to defeat Wake Forest for the 3rd consecutive year. 2024 featured a nail-biter, 26-24. Southern Durham won. Then Southern Durham won again last year, 47-28. Here's John, who delivers it into the flat, and Demetrius Williams makes a nice move across the 35.
Williams catches the ball. There's a hesitation. It allows him to get up the sideline. Jaden Debnam making a nice tackle. But here's that hesitation. Cut towards the inside, back outside, and picks up about another 10 yards.
So another first down presented by the University of North Carolina. Demetrius Williams, 8 catches, 101 yards last season. He's already racked up a couple catches today. This is Damian Hayes on the first down carry, picks up 1 or 2.
Wake Forest thinking it's going to be a run. They bring the blitz, and Hayes runs into the teeth of the defense, gets a couple. But now Southern Durham taking their time. This is an important drive still here early on in the 4th quarter, but just get the feeling the Spartans trying to get ahead now. They've been playing from behind. If they can get ahead, they can put pressure on Wake Forest.
2nd and 7 from the 39-yard line of Southern Durham. John has a gap and accelerates across midfield. John, takeoff mode down the sideline and into the end zone for a touchdown. 61 yards. Spartans in front.
He is a special player and great vision here. Zone read, keeps his eyes up, and then just breaks away from the defense. And look at this speed. Everybody else just trailing him as he turns it on. And he's one of those players that is rare, that's special, that has all the talent that you look for. And Duke is getting an outstanding one in John.
John is headed to Duke as a wide receiver, but he has so much versatility in his toolbox. Coach Darius Robinson said we got him at quarterback because he's the best overall athlete on the team. He said that in an interview with High School OT during the summer. This is a 2-point conversion try that is finally successful. Southern Durham was 0 for 3 on 2-point conversion attempts. Damian Hayes says, not 0 for 4. And Southern Durham leads 26-21. They have flipped the script on the road. 4th quarter starts with a bang. A Spartans spark from John, 61 yards to the house.
Well, the first day of fall camp, Coach Robinson took this Southern team to the Duke Trails not only as a conditioning exercise, but also as team bonding. He said every single one of them failed at the conditioning portion, but that was kind of the point. He wanted them to go through something hard to start their season, so when they find themselves in late game moments like this, when things get rough, they can look back on that day, lean on each other, and the motto they've carried since then, which is get it done.
Well, that Duke Trail Day, it's no joke. The hills are crazy. From what we've heard, I think Madison maybe has tried the Duke Trail Hills or maybe wants to, I think we all should, and it'll be a humbling experience.
We all should?
Yeah.
Tomorrow or just whenever?
Someday.
Okay, someday.
We'll pick a day where it's nice out and not too hot.
Well, and the thing with it, Coach Robinson, the start time was 6, but they had to get to the high school at 5. So not only were you dealing with the trail and the elevation, running the hills, it was early morning too. So kind of a thing they can look back on, have that camaraderie of going through that, and just remember those special times as teammates when you go through hard things together. That's what builds toughness and that special kind of thing, that it factor that you have that you can carry throughout the year.
Great team bonding activity in the preseason fall camp. Coach Robinson highlighted, and it really helped gel the squad, something they hadn't done in a while.
Yeah.
2015 was, I believe, the first time they did it. Coach Robinson loves that method of team bonding. So Southern Durham with the momentum after a 61-yard touchdown run from John. Speaking of running, Jaden Hartsfield back to work on the ground. A first down carry of about 7 yards for the Southern Nash transfer.
Great job there off the left side of the line of scrimmage, picking up about 8 yards. But Sam, back to the trail. I believe if we ran, you would win that. You're a runner. I'm not as much, I'm okay at it, but I've seen you and your ability to run marathons. I've got confidence that you do great.
The hill work is part of that marathon training. You gotta be ready for it.
I'll get out there with you.
Us, the three of us.
Yeah, all
Me,
three.
you, and Madison. We got to check out the Duke Trail and experience it. 3rd down and 2 coming up for Wake Forest.
Don't you get the feeling that this is a huge play call here for both sides? For Southern Durham, do you bring pressure? And I think for Wake Forest, you have Hartsfield in the backfield. You've got to have faith that he can pick up 2 yards and move the chains.
A blitz up the middle from Jadon Lilly, and Lilly blows up the play. Number 3 in the red and white has been electric. 4th down coming up.
A perfectly timed blitz, and there's Lilly just shooting through the gap and forces the cutback and allows the rest of that defensive line to come over and make the play.
Coach Robinson literally said straight up, the biggest surprise on defense is Jadon Lilly. He is explosive. He played at Hillside High School last year with 111 total tackles, 7 TFLs and 2 sacks, a massive addition to Southern Durham's defense this year. 4th and 3 for Wake Forest. And a whistle. Coach Robinson speaking with one of the officials. A timeout called by Southern Durham, but we just read Darius Robinson's lips. It looked like maybe he wasn't trying to call a timeout. Some sort of miscommunication. But it is a timeout called. With 9:16 to play in the 4th quarter, it's getting tight. 26-21. Southern Durham with its first lead of the game after a 61-yard touchdown run by quarterback Jonathan Dillon. John, there is John trying to get his squad hype. The Duke commit. Just an incredible story too, as he looks like he's about to get the football back. John was first heard about in 2023 by his head coach Darius Robinson. Played youth football, never saw him play, Coach Robinson, at the middle school level. This is a fake punt, folks. Look out on 4th and 2.
Looks like they're going to give him the spot. It's close. That was Micah Olu, the quick snap to Olu, set up as a wing.
Micah Olu looked like he got the edge. Needed to pick up about 2-3 yards. And it looks like they're going to bring out the chain gang all the way across the field. So hold the phone on whether John and Southern Durham get the football back. Definitely a massive call here in the fourth quarter. Southern Durham makes the stop on the fake punt, and the Spartans take over around midfield. A huge moment.
For Southern Durham, you have the 5-point lead. You just had the big stop. You have momentum on your side. So important here, again, to get another drive. Take advantage of where the ball is, but you had success with Dillon with the big play on the last drive. I'd continue to let him make decisions and create big plays with his legs.
John, who took over as the starting quarterback for this team, literally a year ago, almost to the day, against these Wake Forest Cougars on first down from the 45. Bounces to the outside and wrapped up.
Number two, Dillon on the quarterback keeper.
It's pretty remarkable when you think about it. John's career, he's now a senior. He's headed to Duke as a wide receiver. Made his varsity debut at Southern Durham as a wide receiver. Tyson Broadway was the quarterback before John took over, and Coach Robinson told us that he threw a little wrinkle into some plans ahead of this matchup last year and started John, which surprised Wake Forest. Southern Durham went on to win 47-28, and right now Spartans in front again, and John unleashes towards the end zone, incomplete. Was hit hard. Third down coming up for Southern Durham.
Good pressure getting in the backfield. As Southern Durham sits with a 3rd and 4. I think you go back to the zone read in this situation where you've had success. And they're on the short side of the field. I would run this towards the right side to create some space for Dillon.
Jaden Bowman comes off the field. He was the intended target on that deep ball. The wide receiver not out there for this 3rd down and 4. Here we go.
Pressure coming.
Flag comes in. Damian Hayes is swallowed up in the backfield. Dylan Balkus was one Wake Forest defensive lineman first to get there. And a legal shift. Mike Stevens, the head referee, signals a legal shift on Southern Durham. Penalty decline, and it's 4th down. Probably the right call so that Wake Forest can get the football back.
Yeah. And Wake Forest defense doing their job. Sudden change. You're put in a tough spot. They get the stop now and set up the punt.
John, punt duties. And it's caught by Jaden Hartsfield. Makes one man miss. And Hartsfield stumbles at about the 21-22 yard line. Wake Forest gets the football back down by 5, trailing for the first time tonight. And it's now Landon Perry's turn, the sophomore starting quarterback for the 2nd consecutive year. He's done a little bit of everything tonight for Reggie Lucas's team. And Wake Forest had the big connection early to Micah Olu, so he's got the potential to throw that deep ball. But also with Jaden Hartsfield in the backfield at running back. Launches this ball towards midfield, and it's caught but intercepted. Southern Durham's defense again. Jace Harris.
As Perry fakes the handoff, gets hit as he throws the pressure right up the middle. And Harris in coverage just reads it. There's that pressure as Perry's hit. That arm gets knocked down. And then Harris in coverage does a great job over the shoulder hauling it in.
He looked like a wide receiver on that play. An excellent over-the-shoulder catch. I tell you what, Southern Durham's defense, Clinton Magwood, the defensive coordinator, that unit has really generated this turnaround for Southern Durham.
Yeah, they've turned it on here in the second half and made some adjustments. They're getting more pressure and sound coverage in the secondary.
John hands the football off and nowhere to go. Read that like a book. Alex Barnwell, number 15, and number 49, Dylan Balkus with a TFL.
And these teams learning on the fly here in week one about momentum changes, fighting through adversity in the game, positive plays happening, bad plays, and each side going back and forth. This has been an awesome start to our season here deep in the fourth quarter. Yeah, now it's going to come down to, okay, which offense can take control here and get a drive. If you're Southern Durham, you want to use this clock, but you've got to continue having positive plays. You can't play behind the sticks.
And once again, Southern Durham right now doing it with not much contribution from Lance Henderson. Wake Forest again with a big-time play on defense. Demetrius Williams blown up in the backfield, and it's 3rd down and a mile coming up for the Southern Durham Spartans, up by 5 in the 4th.
Alex Barnwell making the initial hit. Sturdivant coming over to help out. Those guys in perfect position, shedding the blocks, staying disciplined, and making the play. And now Southern Durham has to be careful here, backed up.
Demetrius Williams in motion. John looking to throw. Here comes Xavier Taylor from behind. And that pass is just bobbled and incomplete. Lance Henderson, he's been quiet today. Couldn't haul it in. Let's take another glance at this. This was close.
And John extends it. As the defense comes up, Henderson's able to sneak behind him and just not able to bring it in, and Wake Forest is going to get the ball back. Hartsfield setting up to get this punt.
A huge missed opportunity. Looked like he was wide open and just flat out dropped the football. Tough break for Lance Henderson, the star wide receiver, but headed to Duke as a DB. John punts it away. Jaden Hartsfield is back and bobbles it at the 25, vacuums it up off the floor, and falls down. Flag comes in.
And Southern Durham ran into Hartsfield, so this will be on the Spartans. So the ball placed right now at the 34, but this will be moving towards midfield.
Wake Forest with an opportunity to take the lead on opening weekend. One of these teams trying to start with an exclamation point in the 2026 season. The Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals high school football matchup. Wake Forest trying to snap a 2-game losing streak to Southern Durham. 5:51 to play in this fourth quarter. Cougars trailing for the first time today. Southern Durham's Jonathan Dillon, John, a 61-yard touchdown run, the quarterback, to give the Spartans a 5-point lead, and the Spartans finally converted on a 2-point attempt. As we take another look at this, Javon Jones-Stevens, he runs into Jaden Hartsfield there. That prompted the flag.
And now the ball right at the 50-yard line. You got 50 yards to go to gain the lead. I'm Landon Perry coming out of that huddle. I'm telling my guys, hey, listen, we have to have a touchdown right here. Let's execute.
On first down, about a gain of 1 for the quarterback, Landon Perry. Evan Harwood, the first to get there, linebacker for Southern Durham, and the clock ticks inside 6 minutes. What needs to happen here offensively to generate some yards for Wake Forest?
Well, I think the offensive line for Wake Forest is going to have to do a good job of holding up and creating some running lanes. They've got to win up front and get a push to allow the running backs an opportunity to break free.
Landon Perry unleashes one deep down the middle of the field, and it is broken up. Intended for Albert Sanchez, the senior who runs a 4.440, had a wide open spot, broke through the teeth of the defense, but it's broken up. Great coverage late by Southern Durham.
Now, Kobe Wimper, the NC Central commit, Lance Henderson going to Duke. Their closing speed as that ball's hanging in the air. Perfectly timed that and just dislodge it, and now force a big 3rd and long coming up.
There's number 5, Albert Sanchez. Coach Reggie Lucas said Albert, he could be a deep threat for us. He mentioned that in the preseason conversation on High School OT website, and that would have been massive. But 3rd and 9 for the Wake Forest Cougars at home. Perry off his back foot, delivers incomplete. Broken up, Kobe Wimper, again, the North Carolina Central commit. Solid on defense. 4th down.
A perfect execution here, Sam. There's the pressure, and then Wimper comes through. When you're on that back hip there, he doesn't push and go around with his arm. He waits and knocks the ball down at the perfect time.
There's R.J. McCoy, who has a touchdown catch today, but not able to corral that football. And so Wake Forest trails by 5, punts the football away, and it's down at about the 30-yard line with 4:54 to go here in the 4th quarter. Buckle up. This has been a heck of a matchup between two teams that won their conferences last year and have state championship aspirations this season at the 7A level. Such a key measuring stick game, as we've harped on in the early stages of the season.
Well, and you gain so much experience from playing this level of competition, going through these moments. You can't replicate this in practice or scrimmages. This is where you really grow and develop. Whether you win or lose in this game, you learn from it, and these situations help make you better throughout your year.
So Southern Durham back with the football. Reggie Lucas, the head coach for Wake Forest, trying to get his squad on defense to generate a quick 3 and out. But John, tough to stop. He has a 61-yard touchdown run today and also a 50-yard run. So he is over 100 yards on the ground. Delay a game, meanwhile, on Southern Durham. 1st and 15 coming up. Lance Henderson gets the carry on 1st down. Swallowed up in the backfield, Gavin McLaughlin, the first to get there for Wake Forest. He's got an INT today as well.
He's played really well tonight, timing up the blitz, the right perfect amount of time there. The ball snapped, he's already in the backfield, and Southern Durham is going to go slow here, take their time, use the clock now. 2nd and 17. You've got to be careful here with your play call, but 3 timeouts for Wake Forest. Still a long ways to go as we get inside of 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
You can hear the cowbells here at Wake Forest High School. Fear the Forest. Do they have a big stand on defense on the way? John keeps the football and advances back to the original line of scrimmage and then some.
There wasn't a lot of room to operate, but he spins, maneuvers, and somehow finds a way.
This guy's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, he can create something when it's not there.
I think that goes back to why we heard Madison mention this at the very beginning of the show. When he first walked on campus with his dad, Coach Robinson said, "Thank God." A terrific athlete that made his debut at the varsity level as a freshman at wide receiver. He's headed to Duke at that position. Big 3rd down and 8. John delivers this one way out of bounds. Fourth down, Southern Durham.
And Wake Forest defense again stands strong, does their job. And the special teams unit is going to be coming out on the field. And Southern Durham just hasn't been able to extend the drives to put even more pressure on the Cougars.
Wake Forest has all 3 timeouts in their back pocket. 3:20 to go, 4th quarter. Opening game of the 2026 season for these two teams here in the 9-1-9. John sends this one away, and it is caught. Jaden Debnam through traffic, maintains balance and is across midfield. A gain of 10+ yards, but some laundry in the process. Flags fly in. Jashim Blank being attended to right now for Southern Durham. There he is, number 21. .305 to play, 4th quarter, still waiting on the flag result. But an important call coming up from head referee Mike Stevens.
That's a big flag, as Wake Forest had the ball around the 50-yard line originally, and let's see where they mark it off.
Some sort of personal foul. An outside block, personal foul on the Wake Forest Cougars. That is a big call to put them back. And there it is right there. Boy, that happened quickly.
Yeah, and
blindside block. I think that was Josiah Sturdivant.
That's going to mark the ball all the way back to the 15-yard line.
So this is quite the journey on this drive ahead for Reggie Lucas's team. Offensive coordinator Juan Quesada.
And for Southern Durham, do not give up the big play. That's got to be the message to all the guys out on the field. Just keep everything in front.
First down carry, Jaden Hartsfield, who's got a couple of rushing touchdowns today. Flags come in. Hartsfield still dancing around in that backfield.
Number 26, James Hartsfield on the carry. Here's a flag on the play.
2:53 to go, 4th quarter. Southern Durham with its first lead of the game, and they've had it for a while here in the 4th quarter. And this looks like it's on the Wake Forest Cougars. A Wake Forest team that brought back so many pieces from last year's squad that won their conference undefeated. Advanced to the 2nd round of the playoffs. This is a holding call on Wake Forest. The penalty is declined, so 2nd down. It looked like they declined the penalty, but 2nd down and 20. Still pressure. It's caught on the far sideline. Not much, though, for R.J. McCoy. Inside 3 minutes to go, Wake Forest has to get downhill.
Yeah, well, and Southern Durham brought the blitz, and really the Cougars lucky that wasn't a safety or a worse loss there. We should be pleased that they picked up some yards there because the pressure was there quick. But now, 3rd and long, you've got to have a play here, and if you don't, you go for it on 4th down. I think a lot of that decision rides on what happens here.
3rd down and 16 for Wake Forest from their own 9-yard line. RJ McCoy catches a quick pass up in good field position on that play to the 20. Not enough for the 1st down, but McCoy's got a touchdown catch. Sets up at least a manageable 4th and short. Timeout, Wake Forest. It's their first timeout of this second half. Well, 4th and 4 could be for the game. We'll see. 1:49 to go. We'll be back. Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals, presented by Air Experts Heating, Cooling, Plumbing. We are back, 4th quarter, 1:49 to go, 4th and 4 for Wake Forest. Could this be their last chance? The Cougars, Landon Perry, sophomore quarterback, with his squad down by 5, trailing for the first time in this game. Perry throws a rocket across the 30-yard line, 1st down catch. Jaden Debnam, the Campbell commit. It's a 1st down presented by the University of North Carolina.
Now coming through under pressure. Here's Perry, clean pocket as Debnam comes to the inside, catches it, turns back outside, and reaches across. And now this drive continues.
90 seconds in regulation. Landon Perry pump fakes, surveys through the forest, and throws out of bounds. 2nd down coming up. That was such a massive conversion. Jaden Debnam has not been that much of a factor at wide receiver, but comes up with a big catch.
And Perry's looking towards him on that play. He was just held, and no call there. They did not see it, but he was held running the route. So Perry was looking to go right back towards him on that left sideline.
And you could tell just because Debnam was fixing his shoulder pad.
Yeah.
So clearly he was grabbed to some extent.
And for the Wake Forest offense here, still 2 timeouts, plenty of time. Now Southern Durham can go back to, do not give up the big play. Keep it in front. I think you've got to let Wake Forest continue to snap the ball, use the clock. You just cannot give up one of those explosives.
Landon Perry, trouble and sacked. Drop back at the 25-yard line. Kai Johnson, a big factor right here as he gets off the edge, along with other Spartans.
And that pressure, the front 4 going to work. Everybody else dropping in coverage, and those guys finding a way to break through, collapse the pocket, and then eventually bring down Perry. And Wake Forest has to use the timeout to stop the clock and kind of reassess where they're at now, bring everybody over to the sideline to attack here on 3rd and 15.
1:14 to go, 4th quarter. Wake Forest fell to Southern Durham last season, 47-28, and then in 2024, it was a thriller, 26-24. Featured some big plays, and this one coming down to the wire once again. On 3rd and 15 here, what do you think they're going to try to draw up if you're Reggie Lucas and Wake Forest?
Well, I think your mindset is we don't have to get it all here. I'd go back, something over the middle, a slant route, a dig to either Debnam or McCoy. Those are your 2 big wide receivers on the outside. Southern Durham's going to protect the deep ball. I'd run up, break it in, try to get at least half here on 3rd down.
Wake Forest already converted on a 4th and 4 on this drive. Landon Perry, the sophomore quarterback, surveys, has to get rid of it, and delivers. Oh, it's bobbled and incomplete. Intended for Stephon Singleton. Great coverage. Jadon Lilly, a linebacker, dropping back and was in the area.
And Lilly just timing this up perfectly. He was in the middle of the field as he saw Perry rolled out. He stayed there. Then once the ball was released, he just sprinted and knocked that ball loose to force this 4th down. This is the ball game here.
Jadon Lilly, year 1 at Southern Durham. The senior came over from Hillside High School, has made some huge plays on defense. Wake Forest has led for most of this game, but this is likely for the game. On 4th and 15, Landon Perry unloads towards midfield. Jump ball, and it is broken up, taken away. Southern Durham football at midfield.
It was Lance Henderson with the interception. And that ball was kind of up in the air. It looked like who was coming down with it. Henderson wrestled it away, got the interception. And what a job from the Duke commit here. He's keeping his eyes on it there, jumps over the top. And he'll be down, so the ball should be down. Here as he goes up
How
and
in the world
catches
did
it.
he make this catch?
Wow. I mean, what a catch. And the ball will be placed at probably about 36-yard line or.
Lance Henderson. We asked Coach Robinson, what's your favorite Lance Henderson memory? This has to be potentially another one of his favorite memories, because he said before the game it was the 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown in 2024, his sophomore year, to give Southern Durham a 26-24 victory, along with a big TFL he had in that game. And once again, Lance Henderson doing damage to the Wake Forest Cougars inside a minute to play.
That was just an amazing job of reading that ball, then the athleticism to jump over multiple guys, catch it, haul it in, and close out the ball game for your team. And the best players for Southern Durham, John, Lance Henderson coming through here tonight, especially here in the second half, Sam.
Just a remarkable performance all around. We hadn't talked a ton about Lance Henderson on offense, catching the football. He makes a huge play on defense. He's headed, as you mentioned, to Duke, and he's going to primarily be that nickel DB, safety, if you will. Darius Robinson fired up for the 3rd straight year. Southern Durham takes down Wake Forest. 26-21, your final score to open up the 2026 campaign. And a huge handshake, a lot of respect between both head coaches.
Well, this was a great ball game. Both teams competing at the highest level. Wouldn't be surprised if they face off again in the playoffs. But Southern Durham in the second half doing the job there and closing it out with that interception. But both teams showed me a lot tonight.
When we come back, the Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals trophy presentation. Stay tuned for that. You're not going to want to miss it. Southern Durham wins it 26-21 at Wake Forest High School. Back in a moment. Southern Durham opens up the 2026 season with a thrilling victory, 26-21 at Wake Forest High School. Riddle and Riddle Friday Night Rivals presented by Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. So a lot of excitement down on the field for the Southern Durham Spartans. Time for the trophy presentation down on the field with Madison.
Well, Coach, this defense in the 4th quarter really gave you guys everything they had. What can you say about that group?
The work they put in, the time that the coaching staff took to put the game plan together, and all the kids bought into it. And it's what we do is we find a way. That's what the motto we adopted this summer, and all we did was just find a way to finish, and that's what we did.
In this offense and this guy to my left, how does he put you in positions to be successful every week?
He's a unicorn. I mean, my thing is you never know how good what he's going to do at any given time. He can do it all, and he's just going to have a great career, and our goal is to have 15 more games like this.
You told me at halftime you guys needed to set the tone. How does this win set the tone for the rest of your season?
It's big. I mean, because we beat a great team. We were down in the first half, and all they had to understand is that we believed in them as a coaching staff, and we just told them to do what they do best, which is finish and play together and have fun, and that's what they did.
Well, congratulations.
Yes, it's all about the brand. It's all about the brand.
Wow, vibes are high down there for Southern Durham. John, the quarterback, taking the trophy as the Spartans win it by a final score of 26-21. Shout out to everyone for making this broadcast possible. For Jay Sunhalter, I'm Sam Hyman, Madison Little, and our crew. All of us would like to take a moment again to thank the wonderful folks at Riddle & Riddle, Air Experts Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Arthritis, Knee Pain Centers, the University of North Carolina, Tatum and Atkinson, who make these games possible for you, the viewers at home. And we'd especially like to thank tonight's participating high schools and their administrators for their support. Southern Durham High School and our host tonight, Wake Forest High School. Tune in next Friday when Athens Drive Jaguars take on the Cary Imps. Again, for Jay Sunhalter, Madison Little, I'm Sam Hyman, and our great crew, so long from Wake Forest High School. Thanks for watching, and good night.
Ever since my boots first hit these streets, had to scratch and claw, made me hard to beat. They were real early mornings and late nights.